Okay. I think we've finally figured it out. The team here at Caveman News has solved our problems. We have defeated Mercury retrograde, and it is time to quickly jump into the show. So let's see what it says here on my first index card. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Uh, welcome to the show that never flies off the handles. That would have made more sense if things would have been smooth. But let's forget all of that and let's blow out the candles. Let's see. There's no applause. Pepito is not here tonight. That is just another crazy effect that is causing chaos in our stream. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for those that stuck around for the solution to the problems. We have so much to get to tonight. I am going to play the beat first, though. And let's do that. And we have the apology on the screen because Pepito was unable to make the beat for tonight. So we had to do the I had to do the beat myself. So it's not as good as usual, but we miss you, Pepito. Love you. He can't be here tonight because he's in one of those hands on a hard body contests where you put the hand on the car and the last one gets the car. So he's down at Roger Logan's car lot. You know, Roger Logan, what a great, great guy. We have so much to get to, and now we're way far behind schedule. And one of the first things I had planned to do, I told I told somebody that I was going to call them. I had a segment for them to participate in on this show, and I should have called them 20 minutes ago, maybe somewhere around there. So let's just get right to it. Before we get into the meat of the show, let's call returning guest, the guest that's been on the show more times than anybody else. Let's call Brittany. And okay, I have that. I did all that. That's done. Yep, I played the beat. That's good. I did my apology. Okay, now we're gonna call Brittany, and I wrote down her phone number. I'm not gonna speak it out loud. I'm not some monster. I'm not gonna dox her phone number, but it was remarkably easy to memorize. And I think I'm going to have this memorized for a while now. It's just going to stick in my brain. I don't know why I'm that way about phone numbers, but I do remember them. I don't hear any ringing. What the? Oh, I have the ringer off of my phone. Okay, here we go.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated
Ouch.
voice messaging system.
Okay, Brittany did not.
Is not available.
Yeah, I know she isn't. I was straight away. Well, that is unfortunate, but it is my fault. I should have called her 20 minutes ago, and that would have made everything so smooth. We'll just have to. We'll have to move on. I was gonna say we'll have to do this another week, but one of the reasons I wanted to talk to Brittany was we have a new feature on this show. I don't want to say it's a segment because Pepito is the king of segments. So this isn't a segment, but much as we have Sean to be our resident film critic, we have a new person on this show, Brittany, and I was going to ask her a question from Dear Abby that was printed in the current Argus on this day. And I can't do this next week because it's going to be a different day. So I'm just going to read this. And if anybody in the chat wants to, answer this question in lieu of Brittany, uh, feel free. But this is a question that was asked to Dear Abby on this day in 2013. Here we go. This is from Puzzled in Florida. I recently went on a first and last date with a gentleman. Those are my quotation marks. He ordered himself a beer and a prime rib dinner. He never asked me if I wanted anything. As flabbergasted as I was, I have a theory. Men today are different from those of the past, and my guess, it's because the pierced and tattooed gals today speak like sailors, ruining it for the rest of us. Am I right? And I wonder what Brittany would have said to that. She is a very pro tattoo woman, so that would have been interesting. But that is the fault of Mercury retrograde. That's what I'm blaming this all on. This show rarely has mistakes or technical mishaps. We've been very good about that, specifically lately. So, yeah, as Soy Trace in the chat says, be more assertive, Miss Ma'am. Just order what you want. And I do agree, but I also want to say I would ask a lady a date what she wants, but I don't know. I'm just slightly built different. Okay, I'm really flustered because of how long it took to start the show and for the mystery of what was causing our audio problems. So, okay, Cinderoni in the chat says, I don't understand what Puzzled in Florida is even saying. Who paid? Well, gosh, that would be something if she paid and she didn't even get any food or anything. But the way I picture it, he ordered a beer and a steak, and then she just sat there fuming, very angry. And I'm sure he paid at the end, but I wonder how long she stuck around. It's very strange to me. What else do I have to talk about? Oh yeah, I am a little bit sick for this episode. I've been sick for the past couple of days, and I hear that it's going around. So if you're one of those who is out there suffering, feeling bad, I hear that it is turning women into Scarlett Johanssons in the voice. They sound a lot like that. It's very raspy, and my condolences to all these sick people who happen to be watching. Soy Trees in the chat says, you wish you sounded like Scarjo like I do. And that is false. I'm content with how I sound, and I'm not. See, I started that sentence, and I already know I shouldn't finish it, but I like hearing a Scarjo voice more than I like exuding it. So I don't know. That's just who I am. Cinderoni, Binks, I hope you're both healthy and feeling great. Okay, I'm just looking at my note card. There are so many things to get to. I don't know if any of these matter anymore because we are in this crazy mixed up tornado of malfunctions tonight. So I do have it says here that I have a text from my grandpa that I can show. So let's get that. I'm not going to be able to read this. Let's see. Okay, yeah, I can't read that at all. Well, okay, so it basically is he sent a screenshot of a conversation he had with his friend. I think it's his friend Dean. I think I know who that is, but uh, as I recall, the message says, "Hey Diener, we should try this." And then in the green, my grandpa says, "Bro, do you want to run with me?" And then he sent a screen cap of what he's actually talking about, and it's a story of the of an 80-year-old man who was running marathons, and he said that he stopped for beers. I don't know. I thank you to Grandpa for that one, bro. I will 91. Yeah, Grandpa's really great. Yeah, 91 is the age of the man. I also want to address a couple of weeks back, we got a comment on one of our YouTube episodes, our boxing episode featuring Cinderoni herself. And yeah, I would run with him. Binks, absolutely. And speaking of which, I don't know if this is too dark to say, but I did just sign up for the multiple sclerosis walkathon or whatever, walking marathon next year. And I am having trouble with my balance and rubbery leg syndrome. So I'm really looking forward to doing that and falling down, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So marathons are in my future. It's not too dark. I don't know. It's not dark to me, but sometimes I start telling people about how my body is failing me and my brain is full of scars, and I'm like, well, maybe people don't want to hear this. Maybe that's not the lightest thing, but hey, it's happening to me, so I can make fun of it. I can laugh. I can have a good time. But I was saying that a couple of weeks ago we did our boxing episode featuring Cinderoni, and we got a comment on it that was from somebody. I think the account was called something Golden Boxing Promotions. I keep wanting to say in my mind that it's Golden Pride, but I think that's just the Albuquerque burrito spot that I used to hit up. That was very good. But I don't know if Golden Pride Boxing Promotions are still watching or if they just happened to watch that episode, but just in case, I do want to say your comment of bad audio, I bet your audio's shitty too. So take that. If you want to box me about that, you can catch me in Carlsbad, New Mexico, and I'll catch you on First Street. It could have been Gold Boy. I don't know. It was somebody, but they just showed up just to say bad audio, and then that's it. So I feel like I want to constantly keep referencing them and making little comments back to them, and because they are my enemies now. And yes, Brother Binks, uh First Street is crazy, and Cinderoni doesn't want to know about the, yeah, they're on the ops list. And actually that's something that the soy trees in the chat said that's something that I've been meaning to establish here on Caveman News, a list of enemies, because we have some. I mean, Myrtle Beach, it's been established they are an enemy to Carlsbad, and this Golden Boxing Promotions, they're definitely on the list. We just need an organized list. Maybe I could hang it around here or something, right by our phone number 575-689-2606. And actually, why don't I just go ahead and play the. I know I have a button that I don't have my magnifying glass. I can't see my buttons, but I know I have a button that will play the phone number jingle. And yes, yes, they are the chumps of the week. Yeah. Okay, weekly ops segment. Binks. I like it. That is going to be something we do going forward. Okay, I think I've finished that. All right, let's see. I'm going to step back. Can I hit the camera? No, I can't. But there goes that index card. And ooh, we are to the main part of the show. Almost, 45 minutes in, or what should have been 45 minutes in. Let's get started. Let's talk about birthdays here in Carlsbad, New Mexico. I need to hit this. Okay, let's start things off. Oh, yeah, I wanted to do this one first. It just says, ready? Okay. Hey, hey, hey. Randa? Renee, it's your 16th birthday. And I thought that's a great first newspaper clip to start off our speaking about birthdays. Yeah, Soy Trees in the chat says, I'm technically making good time because we're 18 minutes into the show and it's finally starting, which, hey, that's great. We had a 30-minute delay off the start, but and that does say Randa, right? This clipping, her name is Randa, or is it pronounced Rhonda but spelled Randa? I don't know. I love it. Okay, let's move on. Here's our next one. I think I know what this is going to be. Yeah, this one. Gosh, I really need to work on this. It's much too small of print for me to read, but it says something about this woman. She's 80 something. Yeah, I could call Soy Teresa and she would read it. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, why not? What do I care? Let's do it. I think, yep, I have Soy Teresa's phone number memorized as well. You're not allowed to. Oh, hang on. Here we go. Hello?
You know what's crazy is Ida used to babysit me.
Who?
The lady in the picture.
The bowler?
Oh, no, that's from 1960. Never mind.
Okay. Well, can you read any of it?
Carlsbad Current Argus, Wednesday, March 6, 1963.
Yeah.
Surprised. Ida Batiste smiles behind tables, bearing, among other things, a new bowling ball and bouquet of flowers. These were some of the gifts presented Mrs. Batiste Tuesday night at a surprise birthday party at 80. She is Carlsbad's oldest bowler.
Wow. And then
Ida.
Doesn't it say something at the end like she celebrated her birthday in a surprising way? I remember that much. Maybe I cut it off, but
oh yeah,
I just wanted to say the surprising way is that she spent it by bowling, which, come on, Current Argus, you need better reporting than that. Thank you, Soy Teresa.
You're welcome.
All right. You can stay online if you want. It's up to you.
The delay is messing with my head.
Oh, yeah. It's really strange.
Oh, yeah.
I can hear myself delayed through it, too. Yeah, it's funny. All right. What do we have next? Oh, yes. Here we go. Here's a feat. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. This one is 1934. A cake which weighs 125
Want me
pounds.
to read it?
Yeah. Yes.
A cake which weighs 125 pounds and which measures 2 1 feet in diameter and 3 feet in height will be served at the third birthday party anniversary at the Bryan Grocery, opening Thursday and continuing through Friday and Saturday. No such cake has ever been seen before in Carlsbad, it is safe to say. Dick Adams, chief baker at the Sally Ann Bakery, has had complete charge of baking of this monstrous cake.
Wow. Excellent. I had two newspaper clippings. There was the Brian's grocery store or whatever, and then Brian's 2. And when I opened 2 to put it into the show, it was the same thing as 1. So I don't know what else in that story I thought was interesting, but I like the 125-pound cake. That is good to me. And I do want to say really quick, Brother Binks, I got to scroll up here. What do I care is the show motto. And that is 100% true. Here we go. It's going to be a gala affair. This is 1935. And soy Teresa. While you're here on
Yeah, do you want me to read it?
Yeah, sure.
Everyone will be there. It's really the party of the season. And there's more to it than just dance. The good time you're going to have. Think of the wonders it will do for the Warm Springs Foundation and the local charities that are to benefit from the proceeds. The merchants of Carlsbad urge you to attend. They'll do everything in their power to help you enjoy it to the utmost. Read their messages. Wednesday night, 9 o'clock, Crystal Ballroom, Crawford Hotel. Music by Fletch Wellington and his band.
Wow. That really does sound like the gala event of the season. I wonder what the party was for. Let's take a look. Let's go to the president's birthday party. Golly. I mean, that is a bit embarrassing. Can you imagine going to the president's birthday party? I can't imagine a president in my lifetime that I would support. I don't know. I was a Barack Obama fan when he ran, and he said he was going to shut down Guantanamo Bay and all of these things, but day one in office, he didn't do shit. So, but maybe I would have gone to his birthday party. But I can't imagine what it would be like to. Thank you, Cinderoni, to go to the president's birthday party. Let's see more about it. The social event of the season. Gosh, can you? I don't know. I can't picture it, but I'm sure. And the president was FDR. For those of you curious and wondering. And here's a reliable cleaners. These are some people that are profiting off of people wanting to look good for the president's birthday party, FDR. What in the chat, what would you get the president for his birthday? Yeah, oh well. The social event of the season. I don't know. I love the old clip arts. Not clip arts. The illustrations used in these old newspapers. They're very good. A rabbit's foot is what Cinderoni would bring to the president. And yeah, I don't know. That could be. Wait. Okay, I did that one. All right, now we got a new thing. We can finally move on from the president's birthday party. Something confusing and auspicious for sure, says Soy Teresa. Okay. A birthday surprise. This is
How would you bring the president?
Man, I don't know. Um, it depends on the president, but I did some further reading. I didn't include this clip, but they did talk about how people were actually bringing the president, gifts. And I'm sure Carlsbad wasn't the only city to celebrate the president's birthday. So everybody just in cities all over America were uh, coming with gifts for FDR. That's that's a bit wild. I wonder what he
I would
did.
bring some dice for him and see if he'd play Steeler with me.
Yeah. All right. This one, a birthday surprise party was given. This is 1940. A birthday surprise party was given Friday evening at the home of Mrs. Dutch Bartree for Mrs. Leighton Brown, with Mrs. Martin Graham and Mrs. O. Hubert Smith as co hosts. And the reason I liked that one, it's hard to believe that there was a time where women were only known by their husband's name. That's very strange. I mean, I guess in a male dominated world, that's kind of, you're taking the name from the women, but I don't know. If I had a beautiful wife, I wouldn't want her to be Mrs. Conda Cameron. It wouldn't excite me. I don't think so. Okay. And what did they do at her birthday
That
party?
would not feel right with me either.
Yeah. I don't know. Uh yeah, I don't know. But and I also found another surprise party article from 2 years later, and the women were given names at that point. So I don't know what happened in the intervening years, but and here's how the birthday was spent. Contract bridge was played with high score going to Mrs. Ray Todd, Mrs. Ray, and low score to Mrs. Ben Wheeler. Many beautiful gifts were presented to Mrs. Brown, and others were sent by, I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. But they played contract bridge. It was great. I am ready for another story. Let's move on. Three of a kind. This was written in 2007, and let's hear about these three. Soy Teresa, can you read that at all?
Pops, the Holguin sisters, Cruz, Luciana, and Eva, hold their 3-month-old babies, who were all born on July 12, 1937. Cruz and Luciana delivered their babies at home in Otis with the aid of a midwife. Eva delivered her baby in the hospital in Carlsbad.
Wow. And right away, when I first heard that, I was thinking, okay, two of them, so they're three cousins, all born on the same day, and two of them were born at home with the midwife, and then the third one was born in the hospital. And right away, the first thing that popped in my mind was, how snooty do you think the cousin who got to be born in the hospital was? The privileged cousin who got a hospital birth. I don't know. That's how I imagine it going down. Okay. Can you read that, Soy Teresa?
I can. First cousins Aaliyah Granados, Chana Ibarra, and Cecilia Miranda celebrated their second birthday together in Carlsbad in 1939. It was the last photo taken of them together on their shared birthday. Renatos and Miranda moved to California with their families shortly after the photo was taken by Carlsbad photographer Ray V. Davis.
Wow. Here we go. Carlsbad. On July 12th, 1937, in the little farming community of Otis, just outside of Carlsbad, Felipe and Martiana Holguin took time out from their farm chores to celebrate the births of three granddaughters who entered the world on that day. And that's also kind of weird. I have cousins. I wasn't born on the same day as any of them. I'm 7 weeks older than my cousin Josh. Shout out to Josh, but that must be that must have taken some very careful planning to get three daughters to have three children on the same day. But it worked out for the whole games. This year, the cousins celebrated their 70th birthday in Carlsbad at the Stevens Inn with about 150 family members and friends. And what a great way to celebrate. Oh, Soy Teresa says they tore up that salad bar. And I agree. Here we go. Can you read this one, Soy Teresa?
I was born at home with a midwife present, Ibarra said, proudly holding a photo of her mother and two aunts holding their 3-month-old babies. My mother, Cruz Villa, became friends with the wife of Ray D. Davis, who owned the first photography studio in Carlsbad and became a famous photographer for his first photos of the Carlsbad Caverns. He also took photos of us when we were 1 and 2 years old.
Now that is pretty sick. I had to find out what these photos of the Carlsbad Caverns that Roy Davies took were like. So I went exploring a little bit. I found out that there are 8 photos that he took of the Carlsbad Caverns, and they are held at the, I can't remember the name of some collection, but they're housed in Austin, Texas, which, gosh, it makes me want to travel to Austin to see those photos in person. But I did at least see one of them, and this is what it was like. I think it's beautiful. I love the little person there. It looks so minute compared to the massive glory of the Carlsbad Caverns. I love that photo. Shout out to Roy Davies. And yeah, the lighting is great in that. It's so good. Okay, I have that. I have that. Okay. All right. Well, I do have one last story that I wanted to get to. But the problem is here at Caveman News, we believe in a very Carlsbad forward, Carlsbad first type of mentality. And anytime I come across a story in the Carlsbad newspaper and it's not from Carlsbad, I always say, you know what? No, I'm not doing it. Carlsbad is the alpha and the omega. We don't need to outsource to other cities and hear what they have to say. But I did come across this, and I'm debating if we should discuss it because it is not from Carlsbad, but it is a good birthday story. So I'm just going to ask really quick for those who did not see last week's episode, Pepito was able to hack in and get a copy of the AI that our film critic Sean has been talking to, and Pepito hacked in, got us a copy of that, and we were able to build our own Sean AI. And Pepito left me the keys to that while he's out doing his contest. So let's just I'm on the fence. Should we discuss this story that doesn't take place in Carlsbad? And I don't want to make the decision. I'm going to leave it up to Sean AI. So, Sean AI, should we listen to this story?
Lady Gaga, Brad Pitt, Robin Williams, Jim Carrey.
Okay. I'm not exactly sure what he means by that, but the Sean AI has spoken. So let's pay heed to what he says. And this story comes to us from Santa Fe, New Mexico, which is not far from Carlsbad. It's just right up there. And here we go. Santa Fe. This is 1988. A woman accused of plotting a daring helicopter escape that sprang three convicts from the state prison says the breakout was a birthday present for the man she loves and she would do it again. All I can say is I really hope that one day Mrs. Conda Cameron will do the same for me. Brother Binks says her love language is gift giving. Good for her. And acts of service, as Soy Teresa points out. Absolutely. All right, I'm gonna have to get down close to see this one. I want you all to know that whatever I did yesterday, I did of my love for Danny Mahoney, Miss Shoemaker told reporters. Mahoney, a 31-year-old convicted murderer, spent his birthday today behind bars, along with the other two captured inmates. It's probably my way of giving him a birthday present, Miss Shoemaker said. Asked if she would do it again, she replied, yeah. So I've brought this up to Pepito, but I'm really looking forward to Valentine's Day on Caveman News. And because I feel like we've come across so many tales of romance as we pursue this digging deep into the history of Carlsbad. And even though that took place in Santa Fe, a woman orchestrating a helicopter escape because she loves her man and wants to give him a birthday present, good God, that is love. And when we do have our Valentine's Day show, I feel like we're going to have to revisit that, maybe get deeper. But I have one last one here. The helicopter on Monday flew at low altitude past the penitentiary of New Mexico's main entrance tower into the prison yard, landed, picked up three convicts, and flew away as guards fired at it. The chopper then led authorities on an 80-mile aerial chase before it was forced down at Albuquerque International Airport. And I just want to say, in the society that I would like to see, every guard who fired a shot at the helicopter would be at least fired, if not imprisoned, because making an escape, I don't think making an escape should be something that is punishable by death. It just means you got played, you weren't smart enough. And these guards firing guns at a helicopter, they think they're going to shoot it down. Come on. I mean, this is also 1988. This is before police cops had access to military weaponry as we see today. And Soy Teresa says, actually, I know a helicopter pilot like that. Did they shoot at it? Sorry, was busy daydreaming. And yeah, they shot at it. And I should have included this in the clippings, but I think they were only free for like less than a day. And okay, so maybe the convicts weren't that smart either, but I side with the convicts because the world isn't always black and white. We don't know what the people those convicts murdered were, or I mean, the convicts were accused of murdering. We don't know what they did first, so I don't know. I think that, yeah, okay. I think we should just shut this down. Golly, there's so much to get to in our outro too. You thought it was a long intro. Let's close things out. Oh, I should mention what the topic for next week is. We will be discussing. Usually I like doing the hangman game, things like that. But without Pepito here, it doesn't feel the same. Soy Teresa? Oh.
Yes.
Oh, hey. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for helping out.
Thank you for joining us. For helping.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Okay. So next week we're going to be. Oh, and whenever you do have a birthday, I hope it's a good one. Next week we're going to be discussing
Oh, yeah, thank you.
a topic that I've been really excited reading about. We will be discussing the first legal execution in Carlsbad history. And what a tale it is. You got the convict throwing his boots into the crowd that's there to see him executed. There's a lot to get into. It's going to be a good show. Yeah, and so Teresa says the delay is brutal. And I can imagine it sounds weird here. We're gonna close out the show, but as we close it out, I do have a list of birthdays today. Actually, we've crossed over. We're now on the next day, but December 15th, that's when the show should have started. So I'm gonna read out some December 15th birthdays really quick. Get some music back with me. Okay, I got that going. And why don't we get the credits rolling? I mean, it'd be silly not to. Thanks everybody for coming. I did a quick Google for who was born on December 15th, and I clicked on one of our first links, and I gathered that information. I really should have my magnifying glass with me because I'm having trouble even reading this. But our birthdays for December 15th. Diesel Ortiz, the Instagram star, turns 12. Cavetown, the YouTube star, turns 25. Ronnie Bradkey, the rock star, turns 40. Maud Apatow, actor, 26. She turns 26. Expert Thief, YouTube star, 32. Emily Fart, YouTube star, turns 34. Alex Watson, family member, turns 31. And I don't know, is that a family member of the person who made this website? I don't know. It was very strange. I also want to give a birthday shout out to Holly. Holly's sick. If you haven't met her and you're not women right. And also Don Johnson. Let's call the night. Thank you, everybody. I'll get things better situated next week. You know I will. Oh yeah, and I read right before streaming that GoFundMe is getting rid of the campaigns to donate to the defense fund of Luigi, and I don't know. I don't want to say anything too. Hey, let's just end the show. Good night, everybody.
Lady Gaga, Brad Pitt, Robin Williams, Jim Carrey. Lady Gaga, Brad Pitt, Robin Williams, Jim Carrey.
Hello Caveman News, it's Cindy here with some astrology, since it's a birthday episode. I'm just gonna say a little something, some keywords about each sign. Aries is the competitive badass, too cool for school, impatient little babies.
Lady Gaga, Brad Pitt, Robin Williams, Jim Carrey.